In this video, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about going from outbound prospecting, so emails, LinkedIn, cold calling, warm calling, and then transitioning that into paid ads and why you should even do it and kind of my thoughts around it. Because I've been doing outbound prospecting for the last 5 years, and it's a awesome channel. It's like one of the fastest channels where you can just figure out what is working, what is not working, and it's very, very cheap to do so. But it's also a channel that is very, very hard to scale. And that is why I, back in the days, had to learn how to do paid ads, because that's really where you can really, really scale up companies very fast with a reliable way to do it. Okay. So my kind of thoughts around outbound prospecting and transitioning that to paid ads. It's basically just you want to use outbound to test different offers. You want to use outbound to test what industries you should target. You want to use outbound to figure out what offers work, what kind of what's the messaging that kind of gets people to hop on a call with you, and basically also just to get product market fit. Because if you don't have that right now, it's going to be very expensive to test with ads. And also, ideally, if you don't really have any clients right now, like if you are just looking for testimonials and clients, it's an awesome way to do it with outbound, because it's just so much cheaper. Like for example, like for if you're paying $500-600 a month, you can send so many emails. But $500-600 a month on paid ads, that's like 2 meetings, right? And if you don't know what you're doing with paid ads, and you don't have case studies, and you don't have the sales process dialed in, it might cost like $500 per meeting, right? So it's not the most ideal way. Where with outbound prospecting, if you're paying $600 a month for a really, really good email system, and you're just putting a little bit more time into actually booking these meetings, $600, I mean, you can go you can go really, really far with just $600 on a monthly, in terms of a monthly spend on outbound prospecting, right? Because that $600, you might be able to send 2, 3, 4,000 emails on a daily basis, and that's going to turn into a lot of meetings, right? So I always recommend going for a outbound prospecting route if you are still looking to test and really figure out what works. But essentially, why should you start offering B2B paid ads, right? It's because it is the most consistent way to scale an offer through cold traffic. That's it. It's super, super consistent, right? Because the ad spend, like if you're booking on average like a meeting for every $200, it's not next week going up to $500, $600. It's usually going to be around $200, $300, right? It's not going to fluctuate a lot, meaning it's just a super, super consistent way where you just know that, okay, I'm just always going to get meetings booked on my calendar. And if I have a revenue target that I need to hit, I kind of know what my numbers are, and I can just kind of tweak it so I can actually hit my numbers, right? It's super, super powerful. And it's just one of the most consistent ways to scale, right? So if you need to double the amount of meetings, let's say you are onboarding a new closer, I mean, then you just need to double the ad spend, right? It's very, very simple. Um, I mentioned down here, but basically, like when you're doing outbound prospecting, it's just very, very hard. Like if you're just one person operating the inbox, it's just very hard to book more than 50 to 100 meetings on a monthly basis with outbound. Where paid ads, that's very, very easy, because you're not really doing, like, you are eliminating a lot of the manual tasks that you need to do on outbound, and you're just letting the Facebook machine do it for you. And the Facebook machine is just doing all the heavy lifting up until the point where they book in a call, and you just have to pay Facebook to do it, right? So that's kind of like the why it's so good, right? The other point of why paid ads in general is so good is because the prospects are coming to you, right? And that kind of changes the entire dynamic, right? Because it just becomes way easier to sell. Like you can easily have a 25-30% closing ratio on paid ads, because they are coming to you instead of you reaching out to them. And you can kind of do your sales process a lot different as well when you're doing paid ads, because you can just be like, yeah, so what kind of piqued your interest into booking this call with me today, right? When you're doing outbound prospecting, well, sometimes when you say that, they're going to be like, well, you guys reach out to me, so tell me what you guys are doing. So it's a little bit harder to kind of or swap that kind of frame. Where paid ads it's kind of always them booking the call, unless they didn't book in a call and you just got their phone number, whatever. Um, the third point is that Meta wants you to actually spend money on these platforms or just any paid ads channel. They want you to actually spend your money to get traction, and they want to give you good results, because if they give you good results and you're getting good results, you're going to keep on spending money on the platform. So they are incentivized for you to win, right? They want you to win. And that means that you are not fighting a game versus Google and Outlook, or where you're trying to not look like a spammer. You're trying to get away from all the restrictions they put on something. And it's always like this game of cat and mouse with Google and Outlook, which is awesome. It's fine. Like, it's not that we cannot get around it, and there's always ways to get around it. But just know that when you're doing paid ads, they are on your side, right? And that's a very, very awesome thing, because they want you to win. Where it's a little bit of another dynamic on Google and Outlook, right? So the fourth thing is that paid ads is a pay to win game, right? It is what it is, but that just means that there are a lot less competition at scale. Now, is there a lot of people that do paid ads? Yes, but not at scale, because most people, they do it and it just doesn't work, and they stop doing it, right? So a lot of people, they try to do paid ads, but it's not a lot of people that actually end up being very, very profitable through paid ads, because most people, they have no idea what they are doing, right? So when it's a pay to win game, there's just a lot less competition at scale. So everyone does cold email or LinkedIn prospecting because it's a free acquisition channel, right? So you're gonna have so much competition, and there's also not a lot of risk to keep doing outbound prospecting, right? If you send 20,000 emails and spam the entire total addressable market, and you don't book a single meeting because you just, like, the email was trash or the offer was trash, well, you're still going to keep on sending emails the next month, because there's no risk to it, right? There's just no risk. And you don't really want to rely on free acquisition channels to scale offers, because you're just competing against so many other people that you need to really stand out. Where when you're doing paid ads, you don't really have to do that much. I mean, you still have to do standing out, but I just find it a lot easier to actually just get results with paid ads, because there's just less competition, right? It's literally less competition. Um, I mean, if you just think about it, like, if you're in the inbox and it's a busy CEO, well, the busy CEO, he might literally receive 50 to 100 cold emails on a daily basis. Um, but when he's scrolling Facebook at, I don't know, 7 p.m. In the evening, he is scrolling through like his Facebook, and he might see like 10 ads, but 8 of them is really horrible and 2 of them might be really good, and that one of them is yours, and he ends up clicking your ad, right? So your competition is not 100 cold emails, it's 10 ads, and 8 of them is like extremely irrelevant, and they're really, really shit. And so you're basically just competing with one other person, right? That's why paid ads is so powerful. Um, and the fifth thing is that it's one of the easiest ways to book like 300 plus meetings if you don't have a big audience, right? So you can literally book 300 plus meetings a month and feed an entire sales department if you want to. It's very, very hard to book more than 300 meetings a month consistently through outbound prospecting if you're just one person, if you just have one inbox manager, or if it is just you doing it. But you can literally book 300, 400, 500 meetings every single month for a business, a B2B business, by just one person doing the marketing side when you're doing paid ads. And that is why it's so powerful, because everything in business is about leverage, right? How much leverage can you actually get when you're just one person and you're getting paid, right? And with paid ads, you have so much leverage, because by having just one person doing the ads, you can book 500,000 meetings a month. But you will never be able to do that with outbound prospecting as just one person. So you have less leverage and will therefore be able to get less money. But if you can book 1,000 meetings, that person is way more valuable than a person that can book 50 meetings. And that's why it's just awesome. Okay. Now, when should you start offering B2B paid ads? Or when, if you're watching this and you are a B2B company, when should you start paid ads? Well, you should start paid ads when you are consistently booking meetings from outbound prospecting for your clients or for yourself, right? And you should also start when you have enough case studies to just sign clients. Okay, so this is a little weird line. So when you have enough case studies to sign, to just sign clients on paid ads right away. So if you are a lead generation agency right now and you have so many case studies with paid ads, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm barely doing outbound prospecting. I still do it sometimes when I have a client where we don't have product market fit yet. But I have so many case studies right now that I just go straight for paid ads with a lot of my clients, right? So you can start doing that when you have a lot of paid ads case studies. It's very hard to sign clients on paid ads if you have no case studies, since they have to pay for the ads. That's just something that I found. It's very hard for someone to just say, yeah, sure, let's give this a try. I'm going to give you $5,000 a month for ads, and let's hope it's going to work. It's easier to basically sell a roadmap. And I'm going to create a video where I go over how to actually sell paid ads. But we'll get into that in another video, okay? I'll shoot that right after this video, and I'll put it just below this video. So if possible, just try and upsell existing clients to paid ads to get case studies if you are a lead generation agency. Now, if you are not a lead generation agency and you are just a B2B company that is looking to do paid ads, and you're wondering when you should start doing it, well, you need case studies to start doing paid ads. Otherwise, nobody's going to see you as an expert, and nobody is going to believe that you can actually do what you're saying to do. You can start doing paid ads, but you need to have some serious capital, and you need to. The most important thing about paid ads is that you need a reliable way to actually close clients. You need a sales process that works. Okay. You need case studies, and you need to have an offer that converts on outbound prospecting, ideally. Because if you have that, your paid ads is always going to work. Now, does that mean you cannot do paid ads if you don't have those things? No, you can still do it, but it's just going to be less risky, and you don't know like your numbers. And I would always just start with outbound prospecting, get your case studies, dial in the sales process, and then go for paid ads. Okay, but that's basically it for this video. Guys, paid ads is so freaking powerful, and I would highly recommend every one of you guys because most of you guys have already cracked outbound. You already know what outbound is, and you already know how to get results with outbound. So if you can start getting your clients on paid ads, like I would never have a client that is just on outbound prospecting only, because it's very hard to scale, and it's just going to be, you're never just going to be like, some months you're going to get 30 meetings booked, and the other month you're going to get 300 meetings booked. It's never going to be that way. So I love paid ads because you can really scale companies, and you can take a huge cut of the extra revenue that you're bringing into the company. Okay. Now that's it for this video, guys. I hope this cleared some things up, and